Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. We hear a number of times in the Gospels of the disciples and apostles' astonishment. They're astonished at some of the extraordinary miracles that Jesus performs. They're astonished as he calms the sea and the storms. And most profoundly, they're often astonished at his teaching. We can think, for example, of his teaching on the Eucharist, which we spoke about recently. Some were so astonished, they left him. So hard did this teaching appear. His teaching often astonished because it turned preconceived notions and beliefs upside down. In fact, in the Acts of the Apostles, the disciples and followers of Jesus are themselves accused of turning the world upside down. We might say that should be a sign of authentic Christian practice, especially in a pagan or apostate environment. We turn that world upside down, or we should. In St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 19, Jesus tells his disciples that not only is it hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, it's actually easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle, a piece of impossible hyperbole, than for a rich man to enter the kingdom. The disciples, we are told, are not only astonished, they are greatly astonished. This teaching completely turned the traditional preconception that riches were a sign of God's blessing upside down. No wonder they were greatly astonished. Yet critically, Jesus says that with God, all things are possible. A rich man or woman can enter the kingdom of heaven if he or she is not possessed by their possessions. In other words, if they're able to be detached rather than overly attached. This is a deep and somewhat difficult subject for us to ponder in a 5-minute nugget. Perhaps the little thought we produce this week will help your deeper pondering. It really makes us think about the attitude we should have, not only to our possessions, our property, but even our world and nature itself. I have a beautiful chair, around 200 years old. It's a simple wooden chair, probably a farmer's chair, made of ash and elm wood. I found this chair in an antique shop. I got the price down and I bought it. I love my chair. You might say I'm attached to it. Is that wrong? The great conservative with a small c, philosopher Sir Roger Scruton once wrote that we are attached to the things we love and we wish to protect them from decay. That, it seems, answers the question about the objective fact that attachment to my chair is not sinful, because I do indeed love it and I want to preserve it from decay. Christianity does indeed preach the practice of detachment from material things. But if the things we're attached to do not take the place of God, in other words, if they're not worshipped or treated as idols, they can speak to us of the Creator of all things. My chair had a creator, small c, the carpenter or joiner who carved the wood and constructed the chair, but the Creator of all was the first source of creation. Creation itself, nature, the mountains and the hills speak of the beauty of the Creator. They're not to be worshipped in and of themselves. That's pantheism. It's one of the great dangers facing the environmental or green movement, which for many is taking on all the attributes of a new religion. St. Francis of Assisi, often claimed as the Green Saint, or the medieval equivalent of Greta Thunberg, was not a tree or an animal worshipper. Rather, as his first biographer said, in Beautiful Things, he saw beauty itself. If we can cultivate that attitude to all that we have and to our created world, there's no danger our possessions will ever possess us. Brethren, rejoice, be perfected, be comforted. Be of the same mind, be at peace, and the God of peace and love will be with you all.